Are we going to our special segment where we talk about more than I've ever learned about
Are
poker?
we talking about poker?
Yeah. Lay it on me.
I don't have anything to talk about poker. I just play a little bit.
It'll be next week.
Next week, I'll tell you all about the fucking casino poker game. Well, because I'm going to wear this. I'll be like,
Guys like,
what are my cards? Yeah. I know, it's going to be fucking hilarious.
Bulge out and then spin around each other.
Yeah, he turns into a cartoon wolf and he stamps his foot on the ground.
Grabs his shoe and is like, conk, conk, conk. What?
Oh my goodness.
I'd like to flop on that river.
Ladies, gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, starring Lilith Electra Zarling, Amanda Bonanza, and esteemed Republican Senator from the great state of Texas, your host, Ted Theodore Cruz.
Poker's not an easy game. Like, it takes skill but not when you catch cards. It's like when you catch cards, you just can't lose. It's like, well, if you have the best hand every time, like, it's like, and that's called running hot.
Yeah.
So I was running hot.
Make a note here. Running hot.
Yeah. Just make a note of that. Just write it down.
That's from,
it's summertime. It's time.
We're running
What did you say? It's to start you up?
That's from Start Me Up. I'm running hot, something, and I never stop.
Oh, the Stones song?
Yeah.
Was that the one they sang at Altamont?
Not they weren't singing that song didn't come out until like later in the 70s.
Oh, that was the 70s. That was 70s Stones.
Yeah, late 70s.
Are you what are you 60s Stones, 70s Stones, or 80s Stones?
60s Stones.
Not Bridges to Babylon Stones?
No,
90s Stones?
I would say Sticky Fingers is peak Stones for me.
60s more than 70s?
Yeah, but Sticky Fingers is like the album.
Some girls. What about Some Girls?
Some Girls is good.
70s Stones.
Sticky Fingers crushes from start to finish.
What are the songs on Sticky Fingers? I'm not a Super Stones person. Let's look it up.
Moonlight Mile, Bitch, Sway is on there, which is one of my favorites.
Brown Sugar. Yeah, Wild Horses.
Wild Horses, so good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fuck with that.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with Wild Horses.
It's like, I always say, like, the Stones have a ton.
Yeah, Sticky Fingers is a good fucking album.
Yeah.
That's what, 60, that's a 60s?
69, 68?
71.
71, okay. But they were playing, I think you were talking about.
Sorry, babe, you like the 70s. You like 70s Stones.
That was all recorded.
Hate to break it to you. 1971 was the 70s.
I mean, I'm going to check with our fact checker on that, but.
I mean, I am checking Wikipedia, but they usually don't get album release dates wrong. They might get, like, vaccination things wrong sometimes. Vaccination information. But they're generally right about album release dates from bands that are like, we're the biggest bands in the world.
They probably are, right? So yeah, okay, whatever. Late 70s, 60s, yeah.
70s. You like the 70s.
Okay, whatever.
Take that.
Take that.
I like 80s Stones even. 80s, they did good stuff in the 80s too. I really feel like Start Me Up might have been the 80s, actually.
Yeah. It was like 81.
Yeah, I think 83. Let's see. Well, I'm seeing the picture, and it's definitely the 80s. Jesus. Well, good God, boys. Like, I mean, except for Keith Richards, who looks cool as shit like he always did.
Always does.
Like, I mean, Keith Richards is like I ain't fucking doing that shit, mate. You fucking goofs.
I'm not going to dress
I'm putting on no fucking pink, mate. I'm doing it. Fuck you with your lawn green and wearing brown. fuck off.
Oh, man. Some fashion crimes from the 80s.
Start me up. 81.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
fair.
what I said. That's right.
That's legit. You did say that. You did say that. Very good.
Also
Very
Start Me
good.
Up, that's like one of those popular Stone songs that I'm just like, it's okay. And I don't know if that Microsoft thing, that Microsoft Windows party ruined that song for me or whatever. But
Microsoft, wait, I don't know anything about this. What's this?
So they were releasing they were doing the Windows release, and on stage it was like what's his name from Microsoft, Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, and it's like 5 or 6 other dudes, all these like rich white engineer types, and they're playing Start Me Up, and they're all just like, and even that was cooler than what they were doing, you know?
I mean,
and that was awful.
that was like what, like Windows 95 or what?
Yeah. And they played Start Me Up, and all these old guys just like,
of course they did.
We released an operating system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's Start Me Up. So like start up, boot me up.
Restart me up. Have you turned me on and off? My girlfriend's broken. Have you tried turning her on and off?
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that may have ruined that song for you, but you know what? What ruined the Macarena for me is when Hillary Clinton did it. I love the Macarena. And when's the last time you listened to the Macarena?
You know what? There'll be days where I'm just like in the car and I'll be like, you know what? I just want to jam the Macarena while I'm driving. And
it's so good.
So catchy. It's like,
it's so good. It's the reason it was a fantastic hit. It's a great song. I feel like we must have talked about this before.
I have.
We must have. There's no way I haven't shared my love for the Macarena. I was like bumping it in the parking lot at Trader Joe's. I was like, fuck yeah.
So some days just in the car, you're like, you know what I want to listen to at full volume? I want to listen to Livin' La Vida Loca. And you listen to it and you're like,
oh, that song's incredible. That song's so good.
Oh, so good.
That's my favorite Ricky Martin song by far.
Only Ricky Martin song I know. There we are.
Okay, I saw the saddest thing, like when that was, I think it was 99, and so it was like right around then, and like he had won like some MTV Video Music Award or a Grammy or something, and he was like so excited, and he was just like a young Ricky Martin before he came out, like, but he was just like he was like so excited to get his award. He got his award. He's like, this is the best thing. I feel great. I hope this lasts forever. It's like, oh, Ricky.
No.
Oh, bud.
Nothing lasts forever.
It's not going to last another month, my friend. You poor guy. Oh.
But honestly, all you need is one Livin' La Vida Loca, and then you're putting it in movies and in
well, that's the thing is, like, I don't know how he's doing now, but I'm sure he's not poor. Like, you know, it's like.
But let's go back in time. And find all the instances of like presidents dancing at campaign events. I just think that would be an amazing,
the worst montage ever.
Trump one where he's like,
I mean, it would be funny, but like, God, what pain! That would be so painful. I mean, you can make me. I'll tell you what. If you get me the footage, I'll edit it. I'll do it, but I can't do both.
To Livin' La Vida Loca.
You have to share my pain, so you have to find the footage, and now I will make it work to Livin' La Vida Loca. But like, I mean, that's problematic too because it's copyrighted. You can't do that shit.
Right.
That's like, I can make a fake version of Livin' La Vida Loca. I can do my own. I can do a MIDI version of it.
Right. If there's footage out there of Nixon dancing at a campaign event, I want to see it.
Well, of course there is.
Start me up as well. Welcome to Girl Dick with Ted Cruz, featuring no Ted Cruz. I'm Liz Darling. That's Amanda Bonanza. we love that you've taken some time out of your day to listen to our podcast here, and we hope you're doing fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm down here in California. Today's the first show from California.
What?
And it's also our first summertime show. We're in summer now.
What? We are in summer now.
I mean, it's technically not summer yet,
Nah,
but we're on the same schedule as Target's fashion.
yeah, like
So
2
if you
months
like went to
before.
if you go to a shop at Target, like you're gonna get summer fashions.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like the Toyota Thon kind of like it's ahead of it's always before it happens.
That's right. So if you're listening to this podcast, go to Target and get all your spring wardrobe at like 50%.
Get all your
off.
Toyotas at Target. Just go to Target, buy a Toyota. Get a great deal on a 2019 Sonata. Is that even a Toyota? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Get a 2019 Corolla.
I don't know why they name cars different.
An Adam Corolla.
Just name them like Toyota medium, Toyota small, and they got to come up with names for them, like the Nissan Armada.
You gotta get Toyota truck, and then you gotta go on the back, and you gotta block out the letters so it just says "Yo."
Noise. I like that. Yo. And with that, we are here to answer your questions about being trans in America or in the world, really. We're not
In the world.
to Americans, in 2023. We're so glad we're here. You just want to jump in? I got some questions ready.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Boom. Oh, man. Oh, y'all. This is, some transphobic.
Rough one.
First of all, I like the fact that they called this transphobic person a transphobic.
I think that's a good thing we should do.
It's
Yeah.
like when transphobics
Call them a transgender.
a transgender. It's like, so a
A
transphobic.
transphobic. I think that's a good thing. I think I'm going to start doing that.
Yeah. Oh, you're one of those. You're a transphobic. That's cool.
You're a transphobic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're a transphobic. I get it. So a transphobic asked, "What do you expect living the other gender?" Question mark. I was asked with an ironic, questioning tone. I tried to like put that irony in there. What'd you expect living as the other gender?
Well, what does that even mean?
So like this person outed themselves as trans, started HRT, and this person said that. What do you expect living as the other gender? And this person says,
What does that mean?
Like, I don't know. Like you tell someone you're trans, they're like, what do you expect to happen? What do you expect to think?
I don't know. That's a kind of a good question. I think.
It's a great question. If the great question, if the person is asking it honestly,
they don't really know. Like that doesn't strike me necessarily as transphobic. Like it could be like it's like, hey, I'm transgender. It's like, well, what do you expect? Because I feel that's a fair question.
I do, and that's why I picked the question, because I feel like it's a great talking point. But also, if the person is transphobic, and then
they're transphobic, yeah,
they're transphobic, and then the way they answer the question, the way they ask the question, kind of changes how to take it. But I thought it was a good question,
right?
Because we got that.
But we don't know that they asked it like that.
But we're gonna answer it. We're gonna answer for real. And like my first thing is always, if a transphobic asks you something, you don't have to argue with them. You don't have to answer their questions. Questions and answer, and that's for people who want to learn. A transphobic does not want to learn. A transphobic wants to be, whatever.
Yeah. Would you like to know what my response is to when a transphobic says something fucking stupid?
What do you say when a transphobic says something stupid?
Oh, you're gross. I don't like you.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
The only transphobic
and then I walk away from them.
The only transphobic I would ask a question of would be J.K. Rowling. I just want the name of her facial feminization surgeon, because she is.
Yeah, I know. Her FFS is good stuff.
So
I know.
good. You can't even tell that.
Yeah, you can't even tell she used to be a man.
Yeah, right. I mean, when you look at the old pictures, you can, because you could tell. You could tell by looking.
Yeah, I mean, back then. Yeah, I mean, you can always tell from before, but like.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, well, I mean, $1 billion will get you a good FFS.
Yeah. So, yeah.
She got that.
But most
got that Harry Porthole money.
Harry Poophole.
Larry Porter.
Larry Porter and the
Harry
transphobe
Porter,
fire.
the Red Mage.
So yeah, you don't have to answer a transphobics anything. They don't. They're not being honest. They don't want to learn. If someone wants to know anything about being trans, like you
Yeah.
can look that up online. But they've already made the decision. They're just trying to make you uncomfortable. So just tell them you don't talk
Okay,
transphobics.
quick thing. I want to jump in on this too because like I've been coming across this a lot. Like one of my friends has been like kind of like got like I don't know, like one of her pictures got like picked up by like one of those like pages where they just make fun of trans people and like got posted around. So all these transphobics came to like her page and started like reacting and commenting and being fuckers on her page and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like and it's like it sucked because she's like, well, now I have to deal with all these fucking pieces of shit, like, you know, and then like actively block stuff, and it just keeps coming, you know. It's like, oh, it's like junk mail. It's like you just gotta deal with it.
It's gonna be here.
And she figured out quickly enough that you don't engage those people, but what you can do, and this is the thing, because it's still not savory and it's still not socially acceptable to be openly transphobic, even though it is in some places now. Yeah. But like, it's still not in all places. And it generally isn't with corporations. And a lot of these idiots like post where they work.
Right.
So if someone does this to you, like, honestly, just like screenshot what they say, like go to their page, find out where they work, and like go to their job and like report them and send them the screenshot. Like, hey, this is someone that works at your company. Is this who you hire? Is this the stance of your company? Like, and like, just like send them an email, and maybe nothing will come of it. Nothing usually comes of it, but like, maybe they'll get fired. And it's happened before, and fuck them. Like, they shouldn't be employed at a place if they're going to be bigots and horrible. Take that, you transphobic.
You transphobic. Someone messaged us because one of our graduates said something online, and I'm like, there's nothing I can do. Like, like he just got a certification from us. I'm not sure what you want. Oh, this looks bad. And he was like, it doesn't really. Like, I don't know what you want us to do. Like, go back in time and not allow him to.
You're no longer a student of ours.
You no longer got your certification. Done. But yeah. So yeah. Let's ask this from the good point of view. You know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What did you expect going in? Did you have any expectations?
I did, actually. So I'm sure we, in some form or another, have touched on this a little, but like, I knew I was trans from like super, super young, like early age. Basically, as soon as I knew what the difference was, I knew. But I was in the closet about it. Like, I had a traumatic experience where it's like I felt like I couldn't tell anybody. So I did but knowing that I was trans, not having the language for it back then, but like knowing that I wanted to be a girl, and like knowing that it was like a thing out there, I did research constantly, and I had a library card in a different name, like and I would go to like a different farther away library to go to, and like I learned the Dewey Decimal System because I didn't want anyone to know, and I didn't want to ask anybody, and so like I did all this stuff, and I read all these books, and I read biographies, and I read like medical journals, and I read like things, and like, you know, and this is back in the 80s into the 90s, all before the internet, and so there was less information. It was harder to get, and they definitely had different language for things, and things that they would call stuff they wouldn't dare say now. But I knew two things. I kind of had an idea of what HRT did, sort of, but I did know enough to know that there's no amount I could of study that would prepare me for it. It's like the difference between theory and practice. It's like I knew enough to know that I knew nothing, kind of was a sort of thing. And so like when I went into it, and when I finally pulled the trigger, it's like okay. I was like, and I knew what I knew. And so I guess the question of what was my expectations. So I kind of want to split that up
Mhm.
into there's expectations and then there's hopes. Like because
Yeah.
like it's like well, I expect this, but what I want, which is possible. And so like, obviously, you want to look good, and you want to be pretty, and like you hope you look all right, and like and I think I look pretty good. Like I
Oh
think
my
it worked out
God.
for me.
You get
Like
cuter
I
every
think it
week.
did. And I got lucky. That's all. I got lucky. Like and that's it. I didn't do anything. I just took pills. That's it. And like I mean I did other stuff. But I worked hard at it actually. But I didn't expect this. Like
Mhm.
I expected to look pretty good maybe. I hoped I would look good.
Mhm.
And I think I kind of got my wish. So that's good. Like I said, lucky, just lucky. But I mean, what I expected was just like yeah, I don't know. I kind
Yeah.
of went into it with a pretty open mind. Like I expected, like I expected to grow boobs and like get wider hips and like softer face and less body hair. And what I didn't expect was to like lose any. Like I would still have to. I didn't expect that I would not have to deal with facial hair because I still do, and I didn't expect to like lose height or shoe size, which I've heard that some trans women
Lucky
do,
bastards.
and I know they're younger. They're
Yeah.
younger. Like, and the girls that I met like were like younger. They were in their 20s, but like yeah, there's like this one girl over at my house, and she's like, yeah, I lost like I lost like two shoe sizes. Like I can't even wear any of my old shoes anymore. She had to give them away. I was like, that's fucking wild. It's fucking wild.
Right?
Like, and she lost like 3 inches in height. And it's like, what? And it's like, I don't mind being tall, like, but it does make things difficult.
Yeah.
It makes clothes harder to find, and and shoes, for fuck's sake. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
like worse than me. Like I'm right over the edge of what they sell. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm a woman's 12,
Yeah.
sometimes a women's 13, depending on the size. And so every shoe store goes up to 11,
Yeah.
and they stop at 11. And so it's like I
Oh, there's
can't.
nothing
I've
worse than like
tried.
online
Yeah,
ads for cool shoes, and you're just like,
yeah.
oh, it would be so great if this pair of shoes was just in my size.
No,
It's
it's like
funny. It's funny, I think, because this is like kind of like the difference between you and me a bit. Like you were just like I researched and stuff, and I just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm the kind of person I like jump off the cliff and I build the glider on the way down. And so I came out and I've told this before, like as part of as one or two weekends a month I dress, and I just felt it changing just being out, not even transitioning,
mhm.
changed my confidence and things like that. And honestly, like I thought about boob size because that's what everyone brings up. Like my therapist brought it up in my consultation beforehand. It brought up, and then when I met my doctor, it was brought up, and I'm like, okay. And then they didn't mention, like they always mention like the stuff about like you should mention that I'm gonna have a mental breakdown in like a month because of the hormones. But that's
Well,
fine.
they
Yeah,
should tell you
they
what it
should.
is, which is getting your
Yeah,
period, which is that's what it
yeah,
is. Like, just so
right.
you know, that's what that is.
That's what that
Like,
is.
like
But honestly, I didn't come in with anything. Look, I've always kind of had a lot of self-loathing around my looks, so that I really wasn't. I was really looking for that emotional rightness that was coming with living the way I was, when I was presenting that way. And so that was my main goal, was to like I just want to be in alignment with body, mind, and soul, and like have that feeling. And I got that, and that's really the most amazing thing for me. The other thing
yeah,
that helped is because I was like going out, like I had wigs and I had friends help me with makeup, and I started doing makeup, and so like I loved how I looked, even before I transitioned, when I would, do myself up. When I'd get my wig on, do makeup, and I'd be like, oh my god, this is exactly right. So, but I wasn't expecting, um, I already kind of liked who that person was, so I wasn't expecting like
I,
grand change. It was nice when like your skin gets softer, and everyone says I have great skin, and I'll just believe them on that. I the first time someone said that, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking
People
about.
say that to me, and I know for a fact that I don't. It's like, wow, it's like I have eczema, and like it's like I'm allergic to a bunch of stuff. It's like oh no,
No,
babe, that's
I've
not what
had
good skin is. What I have
I've
is
had
a
great
lot of
skin.
makeup on.
Yeah, and I already had like very light body hair, so I never I don't shave my legs at all. Maybe like 3 times a year I'll do it, and
I mean, oh my God. Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
also
Because like
I haven't shaved my armpits probably since I started my transition. Like it just does not
I did a
make
week
sense.
ago. This is 1 week. Oh, that's a week.
Yeah,
That's a week.
yeah.
I know, like, okay, so like this is so baby trans out there, or
Mm.
eggs and baby trans. It gets better. Because I remember like when I like that when because so like okay, going into like before I started HRT
Mm.
and like going into it, like I had this attitude of like, you know what? It's good. I'm gonna get what I get, and I'm okay with who I am right now. And you know what? I just want to feel better, and I just want to be happier, and like I'm just okay with it. And that was my attitude. It's like I don't mind. Like I didn't care, but like I don't care what I'm not. I don't care what pronouns you use. I don't care. Like blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was pre HRT. But the thing is like 3 months into HRT, you fucking care about that shit so much. And that's the worst part. That's the most awkward part where you're like just starting to get boobs but the hormones are kicking in and they've changed your brain around already. So like the first thing that HRT does or did for me anyway is brain
Yeah.
changes. Like, and no one tells you that. Like, no, your doctors don't fucking tell you this. And so, like, the way you think about things, and not like the way you approach problems, the way like it just like the neural pathways literally change, and like you start like just like you have like instinctual knee jerk reaction thoughts to things. And like I remember they started like it's like they would intrude like and like I would have like what I was used to my whole life of like what you get used to the way you think and the way your knee-jerk reaction thoughts to situations are, and that started changing. And I would have these like instinctual reactive like reflexive thoughts about things, and they were completely foreign, and they would catch me off guard, and they would throw me off, and I would be like, wait, what did I just think? And then like I was like, that's not me. But the thing is like it's what becomes you.
Yeah.
It's like who you that's it taking over, and like blah blah and blah, and the goo getting into your brain and all
Well,
that.
and then
Like,
you
but like
also, we've talked about this,
yeah.
you start getting rid of all your own internal shit as well. So it's kind of like on two
Mm-hmm.
fronts, is like you start
Yeah.
finding that balance, in your mind, but then you also start stripping away all those walls and barriers you've put up in your brain to be safe, or however you want to phrase it, you do
Yeah.
it. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, because like,
yeah.
and please, no, I want you to, because I blab and I blab and I blab and I blab. But like, but the thing is like, and so that starts happening, and like that's the first thing that happens, because like the physical stuff takes a long time, but the mental stuff doesn't really take very long.
Mm-mm.
Like, and so like that kind of starts happening right away, and that's so what happens is like your brain, like you're already like, because there's the whole like whatever narrative you want to say about like because trans women are women, yes, we all understand that, but like it is like what trans women aren't is cis women. And so like the thing is like you go into it, and yes, technically you are a girl even before you start hormones, because you are like, but the thing is like you still have testosterone brain, and you don't have girl brain yet, but you get girl brain. And once you have girl brain, like it really sucks when people misgender you, and like, and the things that you weren't dysphoric about your whole life all of a sudden you're really super dysphoric. And one of those things is body hair. And like I felt so fortunate that like I didn't really have much hair loss. Like I had some receding hairline, but it grew back. And I didn't have like shoulder or back hair, but I did have chest hair. And it's gone. It's just gone. And they don't tell you that either. They don't tell you that your body hair like just goes away on its own. And like I used to have super hairy arms.
I think that might
and
be
I don't.
I think that might be a your results may vary thing though.
I think it might be too.
Yeah, I don't think it.
But
it
I
goes
don't.
away, bro.
But I don't think it's. I think the results vary. But what the reality is, because I had really super hairy legs and super hairy arms, and neither anymore. And like I still have hair on my legs, but like it's like women where I barely get any up top.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to shave my thighs, but I just do just to keep it tidy.
Feels nice.
Like, yeah, but I don't really need to. Like if I didn't shave my thighs, no one would notice. Like you wouldn't see it. Like, but I used to. It used to be like just fucking. I looked like fucking Chewbacca. Like it was like fucking ridiculous down there, like a goddamn Sasquatch running around. But like, yeah, I always felt fortunate that like I didn't have back hair or anything like that. Like it's like, but I mean, yeah, like results vary for sure, but like everyone it does get better, like that's universal, like it is going to be less, but that takes a couple years. That's one of the things that happens super gradually, because like I got boobs and like a figure well before my body hair went away. And that was hard to deal with too, because it's like well, now I've got a figure and now I look good in a body con, but like I've got these fucking hairy ass fucking arms. What I do about it? Like I've got fucking chest hair. Like this sucks. Like we kind of strayed from the point a little bit. Right. Like expectations, but like
expectations. Like my expectations were just a continuance of what I had already been experienced just by doing things that were in alignment with my gender before taking HRT, and I think that's important, is to like, go in and realize that that's really what you're looking for. I think so often I know we've talked about this before, like, I want to be a gender, I want to be a man, I want to be a girl. It's just like, just go in thinking you're going to be yourself. And that's really, because that's really where the happiness comes from. And like, you know what, you could be a girl, and if you're constantly changing, if you're constantly chasing, feminine beauty and all these standards, you're not going to be happy. And it's just like,
it's true.
Yeah, there are days I look in the mirror and I'm like, motherfucker. But then there are days where like I have a mirror, like, so when I come into my bedroom and go to the back of the bathroom, there's like a mirror, and I'll catch myself, and I'm walking, like the hair is kind of blowing if I'm walking really fast. I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly who I wanted to be and where I wanted to be. And that's all it is to it. So my expectations were just like to continue this growth that I was on, and to realize I think finding that alignment is the most important thing. All that other stuff is going to happen. All that other stuff you can't control. You ask your doctor, and your doctor's like, well, everyone's different, and everyone is different. So
and everyone is different.
Your expectations should be that mental health area, like the physical change, but your mental health alignment it's worth it for all the other changes. The mental thing was the best for me.
It's true, but I'm going to say a thing that I've said before.
Yeah.
To add to that, because it's all of it. It really is. And like, it's like, I think a lot of people, when they first start transitioning, they focus on the physical end of things. And that's understandable. Sure. It's super understandable. And like, it's definitely important and is a huge part of it, but it's 1/3 of it, because it really is the whole mind, body, soul thing. And like, the people that, and this is opinion, and I've said it before, but I really reiterate, because I really do believe it. And which is like, I think the people that struggle most with transitioning, that have the hardest go of it, are the people that don't fully embrace it from the get-go, that they do it like piecemeal, or they do it and sometimes and almost always it's circumstantial, and I'm not like laying blame or anything like that, and like I'm not like disparaging anybody, but like I think like I've known a few people that like where they came out and they started transitioning, but they only did that at home. And then they would go out into the world, and then they would what's called boy mode. They would boy mode, and they didn't come out at work. And even though they were like 6 months in on HRT, they didn't work on their voice. They didn't like, and they willfully stayed in the closet like while this is going on. And I always thought that was like, I don't know how they did it, but they did. But the results of that, oftentimes that I'd seen, where they would be a year or two in on HRT, and they still didn't pass. They still seemed very masculine in many ways. And one of the reasons was because they willfully didn't go. Like they didn't embrace it. They didn't do it. And and I'm not saying that like you have to do that, like, or they did anything wrong. But if your goal is to like go all the way, then you have to go all the way. Like it's not something.
That situation I'm about, like that you're really impeding that mental progress, because you're living, you're like not letting go of that. You're still all those things, like we talked about the chemical induced stuff, but the other thing I mentioned is you start taking down the walls that are preventing you. And if you're still doing that, you're still keeping those up. And now it's like we said, everyone's situation is different. I worked for a year after I started HRT, but everyone in my office knew I was on HRT and that I was transitioning. So I was letting all those pretenses go. I just wasn't ready at work, because I also worked with the public, and like it wasn't worth the hassle for me. So it's like it's that mental part of it that you want to. What Amanda's talking about is like living that split life is just impeding your own process of like letting go of that old life, shedding those things, those impediments to your own authenticity that you've put up in your brain. So that might be a lot of struggle, but this kind of leads nicely into my second question. I'm really happy with it. This is a great conversation. So the second question is, how can I cope with the fact that I won't be able to be myself for 2 more years? Hi, everyone. Please call me Anya. I identify as a girl, and I'm 16 years old. And because of some annoying circumstances, I am unable to be Anya to everyone else publicly for 2 years. And I mean not being able to wear girls' clothes or even have long hair. I don't know why, but my parents don't want me to have long hair. So how can I keep my sanity for these 2 years so I can thrive one day? I think that maybe talking to you in private messages can make me feel better, because there are other places I can be myself. So please, can anyone talk to me? I just want to be myself. So hopefully this person listens to the podcast. And I know it is.
It poor is thing.
And I think,
it breaks my fucking heart. It's like, I don't understand this shit. Like, I really don't get the transphobics. Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's like, I don't know what parents that do this shit are thinking.
Nah, you keep being.
They're like, no, you can't. Happy. You're not allowed to be you. Like, it's like, and like, I don't know. It's like that whole idea of like, it's like you can beat it out of somebody or something. Or it's like the idea of like conversion therapy, or like, I mean, even the idea that there's even anything wrong with it in the first place is bewildering. So weird, like, but then on top of that, like, it's like, not only do they think that it's like a bad thing for reasons unexplained, like no one really can answer why that is. They just hate it. But that, on top of that, then they think that there's something they can do, that if they're mean enough to you, that all of a sudden you won't do it. Like you'll stop being that thing that you inherently are. And it's just like, if they're horrible enough, if they treat you shittily enough, like that somehow you're gonna not do the thing that you can't not do.
Like, a little more cruel to you, you'd be happier.
It's like, I really just don't get it. And these are parents. And it's like, I mean, like I haven't known any personally, but I mean, there's the parents, like if these are the same, I've seen instances of parents whose children were serial killers, who like went out and like murdered multiple people, and they were like, yeah, but they're my kid and I love them. I can't help it. I know they're bad and they need help, but I still love them. But God forbid you're fucking transgender, like, because then they stop loving you. Like, it's like, well, if you feel more comfortable with long hair, that sucks. But why don't you try go killing 8 people? Like, go kill 8 people instead. Like, then I'll still love you. But if you want to grow your hair out, well, that won't do it all.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? Like I don't understand it. Like, I just don't. Fucking transphobics.
These transphobics,
These
just
fucking
the worst.
transphobics.
Make this.
Like,
I would say
yeah.
this to this person. Obviously, there's a lot of things there that
Yeah.
are against you and suck, but you can still be working on that personal acceptance of yourself, and it does suck that you won't get to express that. But I think one thing that helped me when I was going through a lot of this stuff right before I came out was journaling and writing about myself and my situation and really what I wanted out of my life. And instead of looking at it as like you have to wait 2 years, like, use this 2 years as a runway. And when you get a chance to do it, just be ready.
It's really
to
good
fly.
advice.
Yeah, because it does suck, and there's nothing you can do about that. But you have your own internal life. You still have your soul, and people can stop you from growing your hair long. People can stop you from using the names and pronouns that you want. But they can't. They don't control.
No, they
your
can't.
soul.
They
Well,
cannot use them, but
You're
they
right,
can't
you're right.
stop you.
They can't stop you. You're right. My mistake. They cannot respect that, but you have control over your own soul and your own personality and who you are. And so work on that. Do that pre-work. Be ready that when the time comes, you are ready to transition. You're ready to leave that life behind you and move forward. So it does suck, but you also have this opportunity to go on your own personal journey. And I think, honestly, it helped me a ton that I went on that journey before 2 years is exactly how long I was out before I started hormones. And I really felt like I was.
And that's not an uncommon thing.
Yeah.
And that seems like forever when you're 16.
Yeah.
Like 2 years is, that's an eighth of your life. It's like, yeah, like
It's 4%
it is
of
a
my
long
life,
time.
So,
Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. Embrace who you are, live your best, figure all those things out for yourself, and then you don't have to stumble when you're ready to go. You just take off.
Another thing that you can do in this time, and another thing that I would recommend that I would suggest is start finding community.
Yeah.
Start making your real friends and finding the people that you can talk to, and like not only on the internet but in real life, and start setting yourself up like Lilith said, use these next 2 years as a runway so that you can take flight the minute you're able to. And I hope you can understand this, and I hate that this is the case, but you're gonna have to get rid of your shitty family. You're gonna have to ditch them, and it sucks. Maybe they'll come around, but probably not. So start finding your actual family, start finding your found family, and get ready to go there, because like so many people do this, and they keep toxic people in their life. And if you spend your time surrounded by people that put you down and that don't allow you to be who you are and disrespect you, you're gonna develop so many neuroses and so many problems, and you're not gonna be happy, and you're gonna think less of yourself. Your transition's not gonna go well. Like you need supportive people in your life, and you need to get away from that toxic mentality. And that's such a hard thing for so many of us, because more often than not, the most toxic people in our lives are our immediate family. And one of the great tragedies of being transgender is that we're forced to decide between our own mental and emotional health and our relationship with our immediate family. Mm-hmm. And as much as I hate to give this advice, or I hate to suggest it because I wish it weren't the case, but it is that you have to go with your own well-being. You can't keep that around in your life. And this is just something we all have to do. And I got really super lucky in the sense that like my parents are very supportive, and so like I love my parents and they love me, and they treat me with respect and are great. But that's almost something that very few people get. And but I lost my sister.
Yeah.
Like I lost her. Lilith lost her family. Like it's just, this is what happens to us.
Except for
And
my little
it's,
brother. He's the best.
yeah, see, and like, and so you, some of them will be good, you know, you don't, but like, I mean, but that's the thing, is like, it's fucking horrible. It's terrible. And it's not your fault. Just remember that it's not your fault. Like, this is not you doing this. And that choice that you're forced to make, like, they'll blame you for it. They'll say that, oh, you're the one that like abandoned us. And like they always do. They never take the blame for their own actions. They never take responsibility for what they've done. But it's not you. It's they're forcing you to make this just horrible, unthinkable choice.
Yeah.
And they're really providing you with no
And
option.
this
Like,
is this is something we say, this extends beyond trans people. It's everyone.
mhm.
Like, you don't have to do the things that are making your life miserable. You don't owe anything to anyone. You don't have to stay at a job because the quote unquote company will fall apart without you. First of all, the company's not going to fall apart with you. Like, the company's just going to go on. It's a
Well,
machine.
and secondly, if they will, then you need to be paid five
Yeah.
times as much as you are
But
immediately.
if you leave, what do you care if the company falls apart? If you
Yeah, what
have
do you
toxic
care?
relationships, like, we feel we owe things to people. We feel that we have to put things ahead of our own happiness. And here's the thing: if you put your own happiness first, you're a better person. You're going to make other people happy, right? You're
Yeah.
taking that
You're going to be
toxicity and
better at everything you do.
you're putting that toxicity in the world that you're taking in. And if you remove that from your life, if you make yourself a happy person, you're going to have better interactions with people. And people talk about the bubble that we all live in, and I think that's what it is like, you get people stuck in their toxic bubbles, and they're not happy, but this is all they know, and they don't feel they can leave, or they feel they're stuck there, and you're not stuck there. And so, start working on yourself now. Get ready to fly, and like, find those people
Practice
who love
makeup.
you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's good. I love that.
Lisa Eldridge,
Is that good? Is
she
that
taught
good?
me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
She taught me. She's start learning how to do makeup. I had to learn really, really, really fast.
Yeah.
You have 2 years. You
Wow.
you're gonna be in that's in a way that's an advantage. I know it sounds shitty, but like, I mean, it makeup is a craft, and the application of it is a skill, and skills take time to develop, and they only develop through practice. So that's a thing that you can do now, is start like learning about like clothes and all the feminine things that you're going to do. And this is also going to come a lot more naturally once you like actually do the transition. You can do, because but you can start working on makeup now. um if if you can, if you even have a space for it, if your parents won't even let you grow your hair out, they might take away and steal your mascara or something. I don't know, like, if your it sounds like your parents are pretty fucking shitty. So like, I mean, like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Maybe you can't, like, I don't know, but you can learn about it, study it.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I feel terrible. Like, I'm so sorry. What's her
Take all the
name?
small steps you can. Aria.
Aria. I'm so sorry, Aria. Like, that sounds terrible. I wish it was better. I wish it was
Yeah.
better for everyone that has to deal with that nonsense. And there's so many of us that do, most of us. And
Yeah.
it's just so unnecessary and so cruel, and for no reason. For no reason. And it's just like, it's just such a great tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Take those small steps,
Yeah.
and know that you have 2 years. You already know there are people younger than you who have no idea when they're going to get a chance, and so it sucks. But you're in a space where when you start, you're going to be perfect, and you're gonna be young enough to get all the advantages that you can from HRT, and just find those support networks, and and be ready to go when it's time to go. And you're going to be fat. You're going to be fine. That's the other thing is I think we get so caught up in what the future is going to hold that we forget that like all those steps happen now, you know. So be the best you can be now, and that's all you can do. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
all
your
you can
fault.
ever do.
That's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Be the best you can be now, and be ready for when the time comes, and lay the foundation. Ugh.
Yeah.
So sad, but also
I got something to look forward to, but
I'm so excited for
I
you,
know.
but
I'm
the next
excited
few
for
years
you
are-
eventually, but I
Yeah.
do. It's like,
feel
I
for
feel
you.
your pain. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, Lilith and I didn't start transitioning till we were in our 40s.
Yeah. And look how great we turned out.
And we turned out pretty well.
Yeah, so you're going to be fabulous. I love it.
Yeah.
Y'all, we've reached the end of another episode.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I know,
It just flew
right?
by.
It just flew right by. It's, you know what it is? It's time flies when you're helping people and making the world a better place. Yeah. If you have any questions, you want us to answer your specific question, if you have constructive criticism, if you have hate-filled messages, you can send them. It doesn't bother us. We know hateful people are out there, but you can email us at girldigwithted@gmail.com. You can like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. You can follow the podcast if you're listening to it on a podcasting
You
platform.
subscribe on your podcast
Yeah. Make sure it gets
app of
downloaded
choice.
every Monday, so you're ready to start your week with a big old heaping helping of Lilith and Amanda.
If you really liked it and it really did help you,
Yeah.
what would help us
Yeah.
is if you can go into iTunes or Apple Music and write reviews, positive reviews.
Yeah.
Those really help, and they bump us up in the algorithm, and they
Yeah.
get us out there to more people.
Yeah.
Same thing with YouTube stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, just clicking like and subscribe. I know it sounds stupid, and everyone says it all the time, but that's why everyone says it. It's because the more you do it, the more it gets out there, and it goes exponentially.
Yeah.
And
we
so,
asked politely, we didn't have like some obnoxious thing, which is like, click like it's good.
Oh no, I added the obnoxious thing in there.
Little bell, yeah. Hit the bell for notifications. It's every morning, every Monday morning. There'll be one waiting for you.
I think the notifications probably makes things better, but like I say, it's like I can't. I'll ask for you to subscribe. I'll ask for you to like, because that doesn't like have any real impactful consequences on your life.
If you like notifications,
but the notifications thing, I can't abide by that. Like, if you want notifications, go for that. Thank you, but like, god damn, I hate getting notifications.
No, gosh. You do what's best for you.
I'm a Gen Xer and I don't want no fucking notifications. Jesus Christ, leave me the fuck alone.
I know when my
god
favorite
damn, my
show
shit's
drops.
like it's like, and like I get fucking interrupted in the shit that I'm doing to find out that there's a YouTube video. I know there's a YouTube video. There's always a YouTube video. Of course there's a YouTube video.
Yeah, duh. Ugh.
I love you.
I love you too, and I love y'all who are listening to this or watching this on YouTube. Y'all are amazing, and y'all are strong, and y'all are beautiful, and y'all inspire me every day. The trans community inspires me every day, and I just love, like, as we've mentioned this before, just seeing things from people are just like, I start HRT tomorrow, and I'm like, fuck yeah, you are. Yeah, you're so fucking strong. You're making the choice for your own life, and you're gonna love it, and you're gonna be amazing, and take that with you when you listen to this episode. Take it with you. You're amazing, and you're going to do the best you can this week, and you're going to be an amazing person. You're going to make everyone around you better by being that shining light. I'll stop now. I'm starting to get a little
No, it's good though. It's good.
It is good.
These
Y'all
are all good
beautiful.
things.
So with that, y'all, we'll talk to you next week, and we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.